Humm, baby.
Enjoy this great game.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. And today we got a report from Jon Heyman, a report that is disputed by Trevor Bauer himself. So we got a little Twitter drama to talk about. But Jon Heyman says interested teams suggest Trevor Bauer seeks a 5 or 6 year deal worth 36 to 40 million, about 200 million. And Bauer coming off a brilliant Cy Young season, but the star market is slow. The record AAV, average annual value, is 36 million by Bauer's UCLA teammate Gerrit Cole. And we're going to talk about some of the big contracts that have been signed by pitchers recently. Agent Rachel Luba declines to comment on talks. So that's what Jon Heyman says. Jon Heyman, supposedly the man, right? I mean, this dude is, you know, one of the biggest insiders in the game, and he's supposed to give us good info. So first of all, when I read this, I thought this sounded logical. That is about where I think that, you know, someone like Bauer would be seeking a contract in. I don't know if he'll get it due to the pandemic, due to the uncertainty. We're going to have fans. What's going on? Are we going to have a full season? Nobody really knows at this point. So I don't know if any team is willing to shell this out. And we also got to talk about Bauer's career other than the 2020 Cy Young Award season, which was a shortened season. I'm not trying to say that Bauer didn't deserve a huge contract. Certainly he does. But this huge? Before we get into that, we got to see what Trevor Bauer had to say in response to this tweet. Trevor Bauer outage says, John, thank God for you. I'm learning so much about my free agency from your tweets. Keep them coming. Also, Agent Rachel Luba is her Twitter tag in case you want to tag her next time. Okay, you got to tag people. Learn the ways of Twitter. Okay, you don't just say someone's names, you tag them. John. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, Trevor Bauer then says, also, if you're going to go out of your way to report that someone declines to comment, you might want to make sure it's actually true. Parentheses, it's not. Don't you have to actually talk to someone for them to decline? Wouldn't want to be fake news now, would we, Johnny boy?
Shots fired, agent down.
Trevor Bauer, extremely sarcastic. And yeah, if this is bull, I mean, I don't know why Jon Heyman would throw something out there. I mean, I'm not saying that everything these guys say is gold, but at the same time, you're an insider and your name is Jon Heyman. You better freaking not just make stuff up and throw it out there. And Trevor Bauer is basically saying he's making stuff up and throwing it out there. Now, who knows? I mean, obviously, I think that Jon Heyman got this information from a decent source, and it seems logical that that would be about the contract that they would be seeking, even though I have heard that he likes one-year deals, but come on now, if you can get a 5 or 6 year deal worth $200 million, I think you go ahead and sign that, baby. He suggests that, of course, she declined to comment. Who knows? Maybe he sent her an email and she didn't answer it quick enough, so he said she declines to comment. Did she actually say, I declined to comment? You know, you better say, I decline to comment before you say someone declines to comment. Not responding to me is not a declining to comment. That just means they didn't get back to you. Maybe you're not that important. I don't know. But anyway, at the end of the day, you know, Jon Heyman puts this out, and this is interesting information. And like I said, I just want to point out that Trevor Bauer says this is a bunch of bull crap. But nevertheless, let's just look at certain deals that have been signed recently by pitchers. And we can see that Strasburg recently signed an extension for 7 years, $245 million, which is $35 million a year. Very close. Gerrit Cole's 9-year deal with the Yankees worth exactly $36 million a year, for a total of $324 million, and he was also 29 when he signed the deal, so he got 9 years. Then you got Zach Greinke back in 2016. He signed with the D-backs, 6 years, $206.5 million, about $34.4 million a year, and that was almost 5 years ago. So you can see, and this is about the correct range of you know, what kind of contract you would think that Trevor Bauer and his agent would be looking for. So just wanted to point that out. That being said, he says it's a bunch of crap. Also, I want to take a look really briefly at Trevor Bauer's career other than 2020, because, you know, teams got to think about this. You want to give this guy a 5 or 6 year deal, assuming he's going to go and pitch like he did in 2020 every year, especially for the first 2 or 3 years. Yeah, you may expect a decline towards the end when he's 34, 35, but you'll want to see Cy Young award level stuff out of this guy. Are you going to get that? Remember, this was a shortened season. I'm not trying to put Bauer down. I'm just saying that this was a shortened season. So it was not a full sample, a full season. Now let's take a look. If we go back before 2020, fact is In 8 years, he made just one All-Star team, and that was in 2018, and that was also the only year that he got Cy Young Award votes. And that year, he was filthy, 2.21 ERA, 12-6 record, 221 strikeouts and 180 innings. And that's the type of production that you're going to need out of this guy if you sign him for that type of cash. Now in 2019 with the Reds and Indians, he still struck out 253. He is a strikeout machine, no doubt about that, but his ERA can get a little inflated. It was 4.48, and his ERA is pretty much over 4 every year other than that 2018 and 2020. I mean, the guy is excellent, elite. I'm not saying he's not, but he has been known to have an ERA usually around 4.4, 4.5, and it's not the best ERA. That tells you right there, he'll give up some runs. He'll have some bad innings here and there, typically. Now, in 2020, he was lights out. And in 2018, he was pretty much lights out. Other than that, like I said, he'll strike out a ton of guys. He is going to be dominant at times, most of the time, but he will give up some runs. He is not, to me, an absolute number one, number two in the game. Normally. Now, maybe 2020 changes that if you want to put that much stock into the 2020 season and go for it. Hey, or if you just want to pay anyway and say, you know what, I don't think he's worth this, but we're going to overpay. Because there's no doubt Trevor Bauer is going to be a dominant arm in any rotation. If the Giants were to sign him today for that asking price for 6 years and $216 million, that's how much that would be, assuming that information is correct from Jon Heyman, which Bauer says it's not, but let's just say, I mean, yeah, of course I'd be extremely excited to have him in the rotation. Extremely excited. But the Giants are a team, they don't have any, we don't have any aces. We have Kevin Gausman as our best guy. We got guys like Logan Webb. We got a bunch of guys who are, unproven. We got Johnny Cueto. We got a veteran who's definitely past his prime. Still okay, but past his prime. So the Giants, he would be our ace immediately, and we could use that type of arm if you're really looking to compete and make it to a World Series. But teams definitely have to consider that 2020 and 2018 are his only elite years where he, even though there was no All-Star, he would have been an All-Star in 2020. Obviously, he won the Cy Young. Those are the only 2 years he got Cy Young Award votes. That needs to be noted. So before I get going, we'll talk about a few teams in the mix, and I've also have followed Trevor Bauer and listened to some of his thoughts. It's hard to really tell, but he seems to be being honest, evaluating the fans and how they're trying to recruit him, and it's pretty fun. But, ultimately he's going to sign with somebody, and who's it going to be? I don't think it's going to be the Reds. Reports pretty much are saying, he's not going back to Cincinnati. I don't think they're going to pay him enough. Giants, early reports said the Giants were in the mix. Those have kind of died down. I completely expected that, and I even said back then, I just don't see it happening. But it's possible. It's possible they signed him for 5 or 6 years, thinking, we're going to be competitive before 5 or 6 years. It is a possibility. And like I said, I predicted the White Sox, but also the Mets are still looking to spend big. They've already gotten McCann. They are definitely a possibility. And the Padres, I mean, I don't know. I think the Padres are happy with their trades. If the Padres sign Trevor Bauer, they are going to be instant favorites to win the World Series. They're pretty much damn borderline right now after those moves. And I've talked about the Padres for the last 3 or 4 videos. Padres, if they sign Bauer, woo, it's a wrap, guys. We have a super team. We have the equivalent of, the Warriors for a long time in the NBA, and we would have basically a damn super team. Now, super teams don't work in baseball like other sports, so I will point that out. It doesn't matter who you have. It's never a guarantee you're going to win any World Series in baseball, but nevertheless, that would be just freaking insane. The Blue Jays, I've heard rumblings. The Blue Jays are supposed to be interested in spending big. The Yankees are always the Yankees. The Yankees are always the Yankees. They could come in and swoop anybody anytime. So I haven't heard a lot of talk of the Yankees, but you just never know. They are the Yankees. Also, the Angels. I mean, a ton of talk about the Angels. The Angels are a team that need pitching. They have offense. They need pitching. So if I were the Angels, that's a team that I would say, you know what, whatever he wants, pay him. We need this guy. So the Angels are a strong possibility, extremely strong possibility. And I think those are the main ones. The Braves could be a dark horse. So you never really know. But I picked the White Sox. I'm sticking to that, and we'll see what happens. So, guys, let me know what you think, though, of the Twitter duel between Trevor Bauer and Jon Heyman. Have a fantastic day. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya!
When the Giants come to town, it's 5